I'm ready. I'm ready. Can you hear me now? Let me know if that worked. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Let me know if that fixed it. Yes, thank you, Naomi. Thank you. I'm so happy it worked. So yeah, let me know who else is watching tonight. As you've heard for the series, I'm sorry for the topic, or seen. I'm sorry for the topic. It is talking about balance, and yeah, it's something I had to learn, and then still am learning. We out here now, Kaylin. Period, eh? Period. Let's do a check-in, see how you're doing, right? How you doing? Name me, right? How you doing? Whoever the other viewer is, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how we're doing, and we're gonna get started. How you guys doing today? You guys know I like when you converse back, when you're talking back to me. Thank you for everyone who has been supporting this endeavor thus far. We've still been getting a lot of feedback from it and about it. Hey guys, let me know who's watching. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting this endeavor. It's God endeavor. Special shout out to my best friend Tasha. She is like a constant. She helps me so much, and I'm grateful for her. Thank you to all the supporters out there. I appreciate you all. We out here. So we're going to talk about balance. Let me know who's watching. Don't be ghost watching. Tell me who there's. I know how we get down. So balance. Balance. First, Darius, God bless you, sir. Very nice to see you. God bless you. I do hope that you and your ministry will be able to join us for our prayer walk next week, Saturday, even if it's in your city. I hope that you'll be able to walk with us as a united front. I'm so blessed to see you. Were you at the Women's Convention? I miss seeing you in the bookstore. But yeah, so balance. What is balance? Balance. Balance is something I've had to learn and still is learning and discovering even now, especially growing up in the church. He didn't really teach us growing up what balance looked like or even promote that that's a thing. I'm not. I hate I missed it. Oh my god, I had another engagement to go to the same week, and then by the time I found out they were doing the women's convention, it was too late. I already agreed to go to that other event. So I was talking. It looks like you guys are having a great time, though. It looks like you all are having a great time. You know, that's my favorite convention, hands down, women's convention. Wow. Oh man. Lord willing, I will be there next year. Lord will. Um, no, I was supposed to come. I was thinking about coming to that, but I'll be actually in helping in a convention in Maryland that week. But I know it's going to be high too. But I did tell Evangelist kind of because I think you're, yeah, you. I don't know what ministry you're at there, but I told Evangelist kind of I'll be helping if she need any help. I will help her with technology. Why? So I do plan on helping whatever they need help with. But you don't be there too, huh? Ugh, keep missing each other. But yeah, um, balance. So obviously we know that the well, you know, some people may not know, but the noun of balance is the ability to retain one's balance, the stability produced by even distribution of weight on each side of the vertical axis. But the verb, we're gonna go with the verbs today, okay? Verbs. To poise or arrange in or as if in balance, to bring into harmony or proportion. Now, I guess my question to you all will be, and even for myself, what arrangements are you making, and even myself, what arrangements am I making to find balance? So, what arrangements are we making to find balance? And one thing, it even coincides with some of the things we've already talked about in previous sessions, where mental health and all of those things. Finding balance is essential to being all that God is calling you to be. I was having a conversation with one of a dear mother that I've adopted as my own out in Maryland, and she's a district missionary out there. We, you know, were able to get together for breakfast, and it was amazing to sit. I just, you know, how you just love someone, and God given love is just amazing because her wisdom and even her openness to hear young women and young people out and to evolve and to be willing to accept, you know, what they say to help aid them. And so one of the topics we were talking about, and the Lord gave me that morning, was balance. And I was like, wow. And, you know, like, what are you doing for yourself? Or what do you do when you're not being, you know, busy or working in ministry and things of that nature? And it was so confirming because the conversation we have had with two good friends of mine uh, that following Tuesday, we were talking about balance. And they didn't know that the topic was going to, the Lord gave it for the topic to be balanced. So that's how the Lord gave it and revealed it to that was going to be a topic. And then he later revealed today that this will be a series on balance. And so today's topic of balance will be talking about oneself. Like, what do you do to find balance within yourself? So if you've had a long, stressful day and a long, stressful week, even if the week has been bananas, I mean, you got kids hanging from the ceiling and you feel like you want to hang from a ceiling. All of these things. You have your coworkers and your work life, your home life, your church life if you're part of a church or what have you. What do you do to find that balance to bring you back into oneness with God, but also oneness with yourself? Right? What do you do to help yourself move forward or move past a stressful moment, a stressful day? Um, and now a lot of I'm making it. I don't think I'll get in trouble for this because honestly, it's the truth. If I get backlash from it, I mean it's valid, so it's okay. But a lot of deep saints think like, the Lord never told us, or, even growing up, a lot of people are like, the Lord told us to study his word and be in his word and be holy, right? But they never really focused on the natural man. And I guess because they were taught to really be spiritual more so than anything else, and be spiritual minded, that they, in essence, I think it was all almost like involuntarily neglected their natural being, right? Like, yes, we're supposed to deny our own lust and deny our flesh and of things that are contrary to the word of God and contrary to holiness. That's the thing. But it's also imperative that we stay in tune with what we need naturally, mentally, physically, emotionally. Reason I say that is because we can't serve God with our full capacity, to our full capacity, if we're mentally bogged down or if we're emotionally uh, all over the place. And so that's it, Sagrita. So spiritual that we are no earthly good, and we can't expect people to say or to come to us and say, "What must I do to be saved?" Or, "What? Why I want to learn to live like you live this holy life," if we're not even in tune with life itself. You got to think about that, right? And so, I mean, I'm talking about growing up in a church where people already people have older people, they wouldn't even go to the doctor. God will heal me. I don't need to go to no doctor. That's man made. But as time progressed, they realized that the practices, yes, God is a healer, but He put these doctors on earth for a reason, so that they can help us to live a life that He's calling us to live. But if we're not doing what we need to do for ourselves, how can we really serve God? The Lord gave a message to me not years ago, months ago. My air wasn't working in the house, and for some reason, I'm like, it's on, but it's not, nothing's cool coming out. So, um, long story short, the guy came over. It wasn't my air, it was a heat. It was a heat. It wasn't working. And so finally the landlord came over and he was like, well, he's been here multiple times. And so came and finally he was like, well, I figured out the filter was clogged and it was able to push out the air, but it was nothing. It wasn't hot because it was clogged up, right? So it wasn't able to work at its full capacity. I said, "Oh, okay." And the Lord said, "Yeah. How well are you able to work at your full capacity if you don't get this stuff in line? How can you work at your full capacity if things are not taken care of inside of you?" Yes, spiritually. Yes, sin. We have to rid ourselves of sin. We have to rid ourselves of things that are contrary to the word of God. But also, if you're diabetic, you need to go get checked. You need to make sure you keep up with your medications. You have to make sure that you do X, Y, and Z. If you are asthmatic, I'm asthmatic. I have to make sure that, which y'all pray my strength to the Lord, because I'm one of them people where if I'm, once it hit me, then I'm like, oh man, let me take my medicine. But I don't practice taking it daily like I should. Right? Moment of transparency. Look, this is a safe place. So, but if you're asthmatic and you know you have daily meds that you're supposed to take that joint so that you're able to, take it. Take the medications, take the inhalers, take the pills, whatever you need to do to make sure you're able to fully operate, right? If you are anemic, if you are whatever that is, we're talking about being whole and finding that balance, right? Because if you talk about balance, you're talking about being whole within oneself. And we can be out here operating, but we are broken as they come. We talked about the mental spot. We talked about the mental capacity. We're talking about all of it. Right now, we're going to talk about emotional and physical. What does that look like? Mentally, too. What does that look like for you? Write in the comments what you do to find balance for yourself. I personally, um, sometimes vacationing is traveling helps me. Granted, most of the time I've traveled lately, I've been helping or working, but this past time I was able to go out of town this past weekend, and it was really a good reliever for me. And I was grateful to have that time. Kat, facts, yo. Eating is like, eating is like I told somebody this past weekend, I said, if food can be like a person, a man, I would marry food because I just love food so much. It's absolutely satisfying. You wouldn't be able to tell, but travel, Sequita, period, me too. She said, gluttony isn't definitely a sin. So we're not gonna get like carried away with food. However, food is absolutely amazing, especially when it's prepared the right way. You see how much joy that brought me? So okay, so some people eat, some people travel. What other things like video games? I know for some people, especially my brother Mike and a few other people that I've learned. My brother Jeremy, he does it. I do it. Play video games. Um, but what else do you guys do to find that balance? And now we're talking to something that is consistent, something that's not just temporal, right? So I'm not talking about some Sequita, you do? I don't. I don't do that. I don't work out. I need to, but I don't I don't do that. But I'm proud to see you right there. Proud to see you right there. Okay. Oh God. Kat, you are so crazy, dude. My knees not even balanced, so it's hard for me to. Oh, look here. Okay, that's valid. You, you funny, dude. Not just physical balance, Kat. Okay, Tasha. It's funny that I was reading that balance changes depending upon the season. There will always be different areas that requires more than others based upon the season. But it's good to take an evaluation to know when to take a break and focus on self-care. Self-care. That is absolutely the truth. Self-care. I love that. Self-care. Obviously, we know we can't, Sequita, I know you talk about traveling. We can't travel all the time because we have responsibilities, right? Obviously. But self-care is essential. And so finding balance also plays a part of that. And a lot of times I know for some people, they were like, oh, well, I don't even know what self-care look like, child. I'm just so used to just operating and working. And one thing I've learned about jobs, granted, I am a hard worker by trade, but I've learned to appreciate my worth and my value when it comes to work. And if my job doesn't recognize that, I'm not going to kill myself for the sake of a job. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work, yes, but I have to learn, and even my body's had to tell me, hey, we're not going to work today because we don't feel well. And I'd be like, my old crazy self, well, yeah, I can go and still do. No, sometimes you have to say, I can't today. I can't today, right? And it's important to do that before you even get sick. It's important to do that before you get to the point where your body is like on the decline. Self-care can be as simple as not answering your phone. You better tell the truth. Because let me tell you something. Hi, Mother Greenfield. Oh, mighty God. Mother, you're on to something, y'all. That's Mother Greenfield. I love her. That is absolutely true. Not answering the phone, and I think that was one of the things that we went over with our strong friend edition, Sequita. So that's absolutely the truth. And self-care opens the opportunity for self-awareness. Ooh-wee. Meaning, let's break this down. You have to care for yourself before you can be aware of oneself. Mother, that's a message. That's a message. Mighty God. Wow. Self-awareness. Who hears that? You know what I'm saying? Like who do you growing up? I didn't hear self-awareness, self-care. Self-care was like not even a word or a term that I've heard growing up in the 90s. But I'm glad that we are able to progress, right? That's the that's the part. What you saying, Amy? That's the part most people are not self-aware. Absolutely, absolutely, right? So finding that balance, and even the Bible talks about um, balance in its own dialect, in its own way, right? Because even 3 John 1 and 2, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest profit and be prosper, and be in health as your soul, even as your soul prospers. Well, what do you mean? That's not anything. Oh no, yes it is. Yes it is. Because then God goes on to tell us, "Come unto me, all ye that are labor and heavy burden." You can't. God is a God of totality, of wholeness, of oneness. He doesn't want us just to serve Him in ministry and deny ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally. That's not the type of God we serve. So whatever that looks like, right? And my doctor, I see a neurologist, which is why you see these shades. Right? I've been dealing with some head stuff. To God be the glory, though, He's still wonderful. And one of the neurologists told me, she said, all that sound and all these things is going on. She said, I know you're active in church, but is God going to be angry at you if you miss a service? She said, I'm Lutheran, so I really don't know much, in reference to, in that sense, and to like how this may work in your denomination or anything like that. But will God be angry if you go home and rest instead of, going to church, or if you take a day off of work to lay down since you're not sleeping, you're not resting? And I thought about that. Because the world sees us running. I mean, we go to convention to convention. We go to service. We go to district meeting to district meeting. We go to conference after conference. But what are we doing for ourselves? What are we doing? That's a question that you find for yourself. Now, obviously, you wouldn't. Now, I'm all about being faithful to your local ministry, because if you can't be faithful to your local ministry, how are you gonna try to do something in jurisdiction or international services? But that's another topic for another day. However, right? So you would find balance. If your church is doing something one weekend and you know it's important that you be there, okay, cool, be there. But the following weekend, if it's just a regular service, or if it's nothing going on permanent or pressing, Pastor Mother, I'm gonna be out of town this weekend. I'm gonna go. I'll be back such and such day. Not that they have ownership of you, but you do that because they are the watchmen for your soul. You do that to give the sense of accountability. I even ask the saints to pray for me, which is something, I'm a very private person. So when I solicit the prayers of the saints, it's not just for pity. I don't do pity. If anything, I do the opposite of pity. I do what I need to do and I keep it moving. But I do call for the saints of the prayers, the saints of the prayers of the saints, so that they're able to know she's not just skipping church. There's something going on. So that other leaders that I serve with know that there's a sense of accountability. Does that make sense? Because the Bible talks about knowing those that labor among you. Yeah, you can know, but sometimes the enemy out here, he's crafty. So you have to make sure that you are helping people understand. No, I just haven't been feeling well, but I will be back. Lord bless. Such and such. Just keep praying for me. I'm coming. Just keep praying for me. I'm watching. And don't just be out and just be like, if you don't make it to church, I still try to tune in, but there are some days where I have to turn everything off and just be. And that's hard for me, because I grew up in the church where I went to church on Sunday, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 3:30. You better not be late to the 3:30 service. I don't care if you're home. You better fast. Okay? 3 services plus Sunday school. Did I mention Sunday school? Plus Sunday school. Sunday. Monday night meetings, because my parents were active in church. My grandmother was a church mother. My mom was a deaconess. My dad was a deacon. So when they went to meetings, I went to meetings. They didn't leave me at home. So we had meetings. Tuesday night was Bible study. Wednesday night was choir rehearsal. Thursday night was marital class, which I didn't even understand why I had to go, but obviously my parents were there, so I had to go. Friday night evangelistic service. And then Saturday was a women's meetings, which I went to with my mom and my grandmother. And then Sunday we started all over again. So I was in church 7 days a week, multiple times a day. So growing up, I didn't know what balance was because I didn't have it. Right? I played sports and I did all those things. My parents were very good with making sure that I was active in sports, and they came and supported me as much as they could, right? But everything else was church. On birthdays, I couldn't just go have my birthday party. We had to be at church first. And then I would go. Hopefully everything was still open that I wanted to do. Look here, we're telling the truth, and it taught me how to be faithful. Was it fair all the time? No. But I am who I am because of the things that I've gone through, right? So it showed me how to be faithful. It showed me how to serve. It showed me how to do even when I didn't understand. And I've asked questions. I got in trouble a lot for asking questions. I did. And it wasn't because I wanted to be disrespectful. I just wanted to know why, or wanted to understand the scripture outside of just what it says. Can we dive deeper into that? What is that? What is that breaking? Like Naomi, that reminds me of Naomi. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Right? I just wanted a full understanding. And sometimes, we have to understand that people can only teach us what they know. They can't teach us anything beyond that. So understanding that, I just accepted what that was. But as I've grown older, and I think I was in my 20s when I finally went to my first counseling session as an individual, as a person, and I agreed to go. And it helped me tremendously. So I advocate for counselors, for people going to counselors. But you have to do what's best for you so that you can better serve God and his kingdom. And his kingdom, right? Because even in Psalms 127:2, it is vain for you to rise up early. And this was something that really blessed me. Yes, thank you, Mother Green. Well, questions are good. Questions are good. Even sometimes you hear these kids, why? And you're like, because I said so. But then you be like, no. Sometimes you got to hit them with one of those, but most of the time you got to answer their why. Mother, that's good. Psalms 127:2, it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrow, for he giveth his beloved sleep. He give his beloved sleep. Are you not one of God's beloved? Meaning, why sit up? Why wake up early to go and do? Baby, me too, Naomi. Me too. I love her. For real. So you're going to wake up early. You go to bed late. And this really hit home for me because this is my reality. I wake up early. I go to bed late. Not intentional. My mind's racing. Sometimes I just can't fall asleep. And eat the bread of sorrow. And God gives his beloved rest. He gives him sleep. You worrying. Your mind is worrying, racing, going through all these things just to try to understand or to get through this thing called life. And he said, I give you rest. I give my beloved sleep. Take my yoke upon you. That reminds me of the hymn, Come Unto Me. I love that hymn. And I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. And God is saying, I really want you to rest. I'm not saying forsake your daily duties or your way of living, but I'm saying you need to rest. Even Jesus rested. He defied traditions, but he rested. And I even fuss at Tasha sometimes. She goes and she does for everybody. She fusses at me too, so whatever. But we're talking about her, because I'm up here today. But I told you, you do everything for everybody else, and you go and you do. What do you do to rest? What do you do for yourself? Even Mother Griefer, what do you do for yourself? Even Amy, what do you do? Sequita, what do you do? Even if it's going to, Sequita said, turn your phone off. Bet. I will not be available. You tell the people who will be looking for you, like, if you have a spouse or a parent or someone that's going to be trying to reach you, okay? And I think Jasmine said this during one of the sessions of our Strong Friend series. Hey, Mom, I'm not going to be available during this time. Turn it off. Turn it off. Sometimes I come home, I want to decompress. It seems like soon as I sit down, start a show, because sometimes I watch TV to just unwind. I watch TV to unwind. I don't watch foolishness, but I have my favorite shows, right? Soon as I sit down, got my plate, my favorite drink. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. I said, dog. And then we have to get rid of guilt. Because I feel bad if I don't answer. I do. I feel bad if I don't answer. But truthfully, it's a phone. If it's an emergency, I'll know because they'll follow up with a text message. And then if it is an emergency, depending on what type of emergency, right? You have doctors, you have emergency rooms, you have urgent care, and then I'll meet you there. Or if you're going through a panic attack, great. But it's just like business. Business hours. Business hours are 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You're not going to find them people after 5 or before 9, and you're not going to find them on Saturdays and Sundays. Business hours. Now, if we take that same concept and we apply it to ourselves, business hours. Meaning I do not love you any less. But this time from this time is me. And then how can we pray? Where are we finding time to study and seek and sit with the Lord? That requires time too. So if we're failing to do what we need to do for ourselves, and sometimes sitting in the presence of the Lord, truthfully, can be all we need. Just me and the Lord. Yo, that'd be the best time sometimes, because really be the best times because really you're able to cry out and you're not judged for crying. He bottles up our tears. He understands everything already. He just wants us to talk to him. So where do we find that? Prioritize time. Prioritize your time. Value your time. You are valuable. Your time is valuable. One thing my best friend Chantel, my sister Chantel, she'll tell me, she's like, Tara, one thing I don't play about is my time. You better waste my time. Don't waste my time. Because, and she talks about, she goes to get her nails done and they'd be like, oh, we had the counsel. I set time out for this. And you mean to tell me when I get here or when I'm halfway there, it's canceled? Excuse me? Time. Time is something that we can never get back. We can get money back. You could always work to get money back. But you can't get you have to be careful to value, and you have to value your health, your time, your soul. Your soul first, obviously. Your health, your time. Value those things. And hold on to them. Treat them as if they're your most prized possessions. Because you can't get either of those things back. Your health you can work to get back, but your soul and your time you cannot. You cannot. So, what the pig say? I believe that's all, folks. Okay? But do right by your bodies. Do right by do right by yourselves. Self-care brings about self-awareness. That right there that's gonna linger. And be looking out for Mother Greenfield because she will be on one of these sessions. I'm just waiting to find the time. Waiting to find time for her. Waiting to see when she will be available. But yeah, you do right by yourselves. I had said in the post that I wasn't even sure we were going to do something tonight because I really was afflicted today. I didn't even make it to work. But I do feel that this was a pressing subject, and I'm glad that we're blessed to even have the session. But I don't take this platform lightly. You guys can be watching anybody, and honestly, I'm just grateful Um, because as you guys are getting, I am too. This is helping me, and it is really encouraging me to do right by myself and to, you know, stay the course. Stay the course. And truthfully, how can we can't, we have to be able to be mindful and to do right by the things God gives us now. Because when we go where He's taking us, we're going to already have to have that balance intact. Some of you never know where God is going to take you. I didn't even know where all God is taking me, what all He's going to do in me. But I do know balance is a requirement. I do know that rest, proper rest, is a requirement. Jasmine! Oh, I just love me some jasmine. No, these were just prescribed by the doctor because I have to be careful with light. Now, however, these do serve a great purpose for the shady individuals that I see. But one thing I realized about shade, it can only go where light is. Ha! Ha! But no, these are doctor advised. So here we are. But yeah, so I love y'all. I love y'all for real. You missed that part, Jasmine, because I already said it. I already said. But yeah, so you all just try to do and find that for yourself. Um, yeah, because it's imperative. It's imperative for us to be conscious of ourselves and what we need. We serve everybody else's needs, but what about ours? God already said He'll supply all our needs, so we ain't got to worry about according to His riches and glory. Now, we ain't got to worry about our needs. We worry. I know I do. Sometimes I just because I'm a planner. I gotta get things sorted out in my own mind. But God already supplies our needs, so all we need to worry about is His kingdom and our health and what we need to do for ourselves. Yikes! All right. So yeah, but be encouraged, and try to find that balance. One of the books that I've talked about, and I will continue to talk about, is Boundaries. Boundaries. It talks about boundaries within oneself, within marriages, within your families, within work, social life. It's really good, and they even have Boundaries, the marital edition, Boundaries, the bunch of other editions. But it's a good book to invest in. I think Lawana Grant, or I believe it was Lawana Grant first that I heard that from. I believe, but yeah, it's a good read. It really is, and it helps put things in perspective as to what you need to do. You know, if you haven't saw the post already, the prayer walk, the Salt of the Earth prayer walk, will be next Saturday. If you or your ministry would like to be a part, feel free to let your pastor know. Um, I am in contact. Will be, and I have been in contact with some pastors already, some ministries already. Um, and that way they can be a part of it as well. June 11th at 11 o'clock Central Time. If you are in a different state and you want to be a part of it, absolutely. Just join us and walk at 11 a.m. Central Time. That's 12 p.m. Excuse me, your time, 10 a.m. your time. But try to do it as a group. Don't just go walking by yourself. Try to do it as a group. We're going to be wise in all that we do. We're going to be wise. And if you want to be a part, just let me know. You can reach out to me if you have my personal contact information. You can definitely call or text me. You can inbox me. You can reach out to the Repair of the Breach page. Thank you all for going to like the page. Like I sent out like 76 invites, and 76 people have liked it and followed the page. I appreciate your support so much. It means a lot because I mean I'm just going God all the way, and I appreciate you all for going along this journey with me. Um, we will have more information about the prayer walk coming up this week. You can email us if you have any questions or want to reach out to us at repairofthebreach22@gmail.com. Um, yeah, that's it. That's all, man. We had 48 seconds, for 48 minutes rather, and we came and we saw, we conquered, and we are leaving. But no, I appreciate you all. I will send out. I'll probably do a short live from the Repair of the Breach page. We also have a YouTube page. Um, you can go and like that and follow that as well. Um, and feel free to make comments and suggestions and put all things down there. We will be coming with the Repair of the Breach group, which will be a little bit more private, but it's going to be good. So if you have anything, any comments, concerns, any topics that you would like for us to go over, feel free to inbox me, let me know, call me, text me, let me know. And we will definitely go with it as the Lord leads. Thank you all again for tuning in. I do hope that you were encouraged tonight to do something for yourself. Tonight, before you go to bed, do something for yourself. Whether it's turning your phone off, whether it's going to get your favorite cookie from your favorite restaurant, whether it's going to get your favorite ice cream, favorite shake, indulge. It's the little things sometimes that goes a long way. But make sure to do something for yourself. Always remember Jesus and always keep him on your mind. All right? You all be encouraged and have a great rest of your week. I do pray that you have a great weekend. The weather has been amazing out here, but be careful. And just stay the course. Stay the course. Thank you all again for watching and tuning in. I do pray that you all have a great one. Know that I love you so much. And I encourage you to live on purpose, in purpose, for God's purpose for your life. See you all later. Bye.